Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Kiki, and today we are going through my DCP memory bag. We're gonna try to remember as much as we can about everything in the bag, and if I have pictures, I'm gonna insert them into the video, and I'm so excited to go through it. Yeah, let's get started.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you.
So I'm so excited to show y'all everything in the bag. But first, let's talk about why I'm doing this video. First of all, it has been some months. Hold on, okay, let me do the math real quick. So I left my DCP in August. It is now February, almost March. So I have been gone for 6 months. It's been 6 months since I left my program. And I start another program in a little over 2 months. So I'm so excited. I'm doing Disney Alumni Program starting in May. It's just over the summer, so I'm not gonna miss any school, but I am so excited to be doing another program. So yeah, so that's kind of why we're doing this video. It's been 6 months since my last, and I am doing another, and so we're gonna reflect on my last before we start my next. Yeah, so let's start with item number 1. We're gonna start with the ears. I'm gonna get these framed, by the way, I just haven't yet, but these are my graduation ears from when I graduated. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures from when I graduated because I caught COVID the day I was supposed to go to my DCP graduation. So unfortunately, there are no graduation pictures, but the back says graduation, and it says the date, the last day of my program, not my actual graduation date, but the last day was August 25th, 2022. And then I also have my Traditions ears, which look exactly the same, just without the tassel. But the back says Traditions, April 22nd, 2022. So yeah, and I do have pictures from Traditions, but this was a fun day. I actually have a vlog out about this day, if you wanna watch that. If I can figure out how to do the little card thing, I'll link it right here, or here. Okay, so next I have these items. So I have my Cinderella, my fairy godmother wand, and then Cinderella portraits that are autographed. So I actually got these when I was eating at Cinderella's Royal Table with Sarah Kate for the first time ever, by the way, and it was breakfast and it was really cool. And Cinderella had like recently been introduced back, but she wasn't actually meeting in the restaurant. She was meeting outside the restaurant. So we you know, sat down in the restaurant, and when we walked in, when we walked out, we got our wands. But when we sat down at the table, the cast member was saying that we were so nice and that she was so happy to see other cast members there. So she gave us these that were autographed, and then we went downstairs, and then we saw Cinderella, we met Cinderella, and then on our way out, we got these magical wands. So that's what these come from. Before I continue, I do want to say this is in no particular order. I'm just kind of going through the bag and pulling it out and explaining things to y'all. So we're like doing it as we go. Now, for these next set of things, so during my DCP, we had these things called iridescent evenings for cast members. It's basically when we could get into the parks after hours for like 3 hours. And just, it's all cast members that are in the parks. And we basically get to just play in the parks for 3 hours with no guests there. It's all cast members. So yeah, that was super fun. But I got to do 2 of them. So each cast member got signed up for 1. The first one I went to was Hollywood Studios, which one of my roommates signed up for and brought me as their +1. So I have the little park map from that day. He says, "We are the magic." But yeah, so we had like complimentary pictures, complimentary snacks. Only select rides were open, not all of them. Oh, I got a little wet. But yeah, some of the rides were open, but not all of them. This is basically what the map looked like. It told us what was open, what food places were open, where we could get our free snacks, all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, so we got that. And then we also all got a popcorn bucket. If you don't know, this is a mousetrap from Star Wars. But yeah, we all got this popcorn bucket on that same iridescent evening night. She squeaks when she rolls. That's why they're called. No, they're not called mouse traps. They're mouse droids. Please, silly me. Yeah, that came from that. And then I also thought I was gonna start collecting these Coke bottles. I did not. But that night I got the first one, which is a Hollywood Studios one, and I held on to it because I got it from my Hollywood Studios iridescent night. So Hollywood Studios Coke bottle. I also got this necklace on our Hollywood Studios night, and it just says the world's most magical celebration with the big 50 and the castle in it. I don't know if you can see that, but it also lights up if I ever take this tab out. Ta-da! She lights up. We got these. So as we were walking out, we got like this little card. It says cast member iridescent evening. And then on the front side it says we are the magic, and we get like collectible coins. I actually have 2 of them because I did go to 2 iridescent nights. If this one will come unattached. It's stuck to the little thing. Okay. I think they're the same coin, just reversed, but yeah. Those are 2 coins. This one is Mickey and Minnie in front of the castle with the 50, and this one is Mickey Mouse, and it says the world's most magical celebration. That's all the stuff we got from the Hollywood Studios iridescent night. And now we are going to, wait, let me check to make sure. Yes, that is all. So now we're going to talk about our Magic Kingdom iridescent night, which was actually my iridescent night that I had booked. My roommate did not get to go because she still had to work, but I went with a bunch of my work colleagues. Now for the Magic Kingdom iridescent night. So we all got wristbands because we were allowed to enter the park before all the guests were gone. We could enter like right before fireworks started, so we kind of showed up early so we could enter for fireworks. And it was cool because we also got to meet Jeff Val, who was just like standing out front, like right after you got your wristband. He was literally standing like right on the other side of the people that were giving us the wristband, and we were just like meeting people, and he was so nice and so cool. And I was like, this is awesome, actually. If you don't know who Jeff Val is, he is the president of Walt Disney World. But yes, it was very cool. And then we got our maps, and then right after we got our map, there was the Pixie Patrol on the other side of the maps, and they were super nice because as we were walking through there, they were like, hey, y'all look like y'all could use some extra magic. And we were like, I mean, okay, sure. So they were like, how would y'all like to watch the fireworks from up on the train station? So we literally got to go up on the train station and watch the fireworks from up there. There were like a select number of us, I would guess maybe 30 people up there. Yeah, but that was so cool. And it was like me and my coworkers who all got to go up there, which is really cool. But after the fireworks, I will say it is very scary watching tens of thousands of people run towards you, not run, but like, you know, come towards you to like exit the park. That was wild. But anyway, so the map here is the same as the Hollywood Studios map. It's not the same as the Hollywood Studios map because obviously it's a different park, but it is it's the same as far as like where we get snacks, which rides are open. Again, not all the rides were open, which restaurants are open for us to eat at, that kind of fun stuff. And then we also got one of these. So if it is your if it's your iridescent evening reservation, you get one of these. So it's basically just like a cute little badge that says, I'm a cast member, I can be here, along with the wristband. But yeah, so it says cast member iridescent evenings, and the back side says which park you're in, which was Magic Kingdom. I got mine. And then yeah, that's pretty much all that I got from Magic Kingdom. Plus I got the coin. So that's a fun little story about that night. So now this next thing, I did not technically get on Disney property, but I bought a little mini BB-8. So if you were watching my content during the time that I was on my DCP, you would know I went to that Studio Movie Grill a lot. And next to that Studio Movie Grill was a Five Below. So I would often pop into the Five Below and do a little bit of shopping before I went to Studio Movie Grill. Anyway, at that Five Below, they had this BB-8. And I bought it because I was gonna have my Star Wars night with Sarah Kate. And I was like, how cool would it be if I could have mini BB-8 in my pictures? And he's remote controlled, there's a remote in here. So I was like, how cool would it be if I could have him in my pictures? And it's like me as like a Sith and BB-8, because I love BB-8. But I forgot him on the day that we went to Star Wars night. But no, the pictures turned out pretty cool anyway. I'll put in some pictures, of course. But yeah, so that was the intention of buying BB-8, but he just did not end up making it. But I do plan on having another Star Wars themed night and actually bringing him next time. Okay, so this is a bag. This is the Disney Alumni Association drawstring bag that we were supposed to get on our graduation day, that I did not actually get on my graduation day because I was sick with COVID, so I got it after the fact. But it has just some things to basically say, you know, congrats, you graduated. Yeah, it came with my ears. Whoa, came with my ears with my tassel. You know, y'all saw these. And then, you know, we got to keep the bag. And then we also got Disney Alumni Association, it's a magnet, but I don't know if it's a fridge magnet or a car magnet, but I think it could do either. So yeah, so that's what came in there. And then I believe it also came with, hold on, don't mind me. Oh, this. It came with another magnet. This is Walt Disney World 50th. And that also came in this bag here. So yeah, so that's what I was supposed to get on my graduation day, but again, I was sick with COVID, unfortunately, that day. So I did not get a graduation, which I kept making jokes about how that's the second graduation COVID has taken from me. Yeah, it's okay, because I get to redo my DCP and I'm gonna get a whole nother graduation, and I will not get COVID this time. Okay, so this next thing, this is something that we get every month living in DCP housing. Every month they will like swap them out, but it's a calendar of the things that they have going on that month on like in Flamingo Crossings, the Disney housing. So I took the one from August. I didn't like take it, we were allowed to keep them. Anyway, so I took the one from August because that was our last month there. And I believe I actually went to some of these events. Let me take a quick peek. So this was the month that I had 2 family members visiting. So like I had one family coming this week, and then I had another family coming this week to help me move out. So yeah, and then I was working a lot these 2 weeks and trying to make the most of like the last bit of my program. So I did not unfortunately get to do any of these, but I did like end up doing some things at the apartment complex like throughout the rest of my program. I just didn't this last month, but I wanted to take it so that we could keep it for the memes so I could remember. Okay, this is something that I found actually at the end of our program. I don't know how I found it, but it was just like as we were moving out, it was just sitting there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I like it wasn't the new one, it was the one. Let me explain what this is. So when we moved in, one of our roommates were already living in the apartment. So they put this on your door whenever you have new roommates about to move in. So they're like, you know, tidy up, do that kind of fun stuff, clear the gross food out of the fridge, all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, so this was on the door for when we were about to move in, because 3 of us moved in together, but one of the roommates were already there. So yeah, I wanted to hold on to this because I was like, this was from literally before I got here. It's an indicator that I was getting there. Okay, now when we first got there, we got, hold on, let me take out these old passcodes real quick before I show you. Okay, so when we first got to the apartment complex, we got this little pouch, okay? And they were gonna be like, this can basically hold all of the stuff that you need, like when you receive it at Traditions. And we also got a little pin on the pouch that indicates what building we live in, so that we could never forget, I guess, but yeah. So I lived in the dock area, and then we got the pouch. And then after receiving the pouch, a couple days later, we go to Traditions. Now at Traditions, you will get your blue ID. Okay, don't look how terrible I look, but let me cover that up, the blue ID. So the blue ID goes inside your pouch. I kept mine inside my pouch my entire program, just to work there. But yeah, so blue ID goes inside the pouch. And then we also get breath mints, which mine are unopened. I believe they're in a little clear bag, but no, I did not open them because I wanted to keep them. I could eat them, but you know, didn't want to. I can't open it. Okay, well, clearly she's not meant to be seen. Anyway, we also get name tag. So some cast members have like their home city and then their home state of their name tag. If you're in the Disney College program, it'll say your name of choice, and then it'll say what college you go to. So this was my name tag that I got on Traditions Day. I really wish I had a picture of when we got them, because Mickey Mouse actually like gave them to us, and it was really magical and it was really cute, and I did cry. But I didn't know that we were allowed to take pictures, so I don't have any pictures of that. But name tag, and it's the 50th anniversary name tag, and I cannot wait to get my 100th anniversary name tag if they're doing that at Disney World. But yeah, and then you also get this pin, that says the world's most magical celebration. It's basically just like the 50th anniversary logo thing. And then you also get your cast member mask, because in some places you still need to wear the mask. Or if you are like feeling a little sick, but like you're not like sick, they ask you to wear the mask, all that kind of fun stuff. You also get one of these. It says earning my ears. It goes on the bottom of your name tag to basically say that you are in training. And then whenever you finish your training, you get to take it off. And I wanted to make a video of myself taking it off, but then the night that I finished my training, I got off so late that I forgot. And so I took it off because they were like, okay, you should like take this off within a couple days of finishing your training so that you don't, you know, just because that's what you're supposed to do. So I was like, okay, but I just completely forgot to make a video because it was like midnight. But yeah, so all of that you get at Traditions and on your move-in day. And then a couple days after Traditions, you get your self-admission pass. This is basically, like, they call it your main gate. But this lets you get into the parks for free. I used her a lot. I also kept her inside this pouch because I was afraid of losing her. But yeah. And then I also, my first day of work, I got my locker info. I'm not gonna come too close with it, but it has my locker number and then it was my passcode. And then I also have a sticky note from another locker that I had back when I worked at, I picked up a shift at Port Orleans. And so they gave me a locker there. And so I have this locker code here. And that was everything that was inside my pouch and everything that I got on my first day and when I moved in. Okay, now this little guy has no real significance. I was getting ready to leave my program and I was like, I have never had a soda from Galaxy's Edge. So I wanted to make sure that I got to try one because, you know, they're little detonator bombs. And I just really wanted to try one before I left. So I got it and I drank it and I held on to the little packaging because I thought it was cute. Okay, now I have this little wristband that says underage. So during my program, I was 20 years old. And one of the nights, my roommate who was preparing to leave, she was like, hey, it's my last night. We should go to Senior Frogs. I had never been. So I drove the 30-ish minutes to go meet her at Senior Frogs for her last night. And I walk in because, you know, it's supposed to be 18 plus. And everyone who's over 18 is supposedly supposed to get in free. That's what I thought. But I walk in and I have to pay a $5 cover, which is really cheap. I was not minding paying the $5 cover. But then they gave me this bright yellow wristband that says underage because I was only 20 years old. And yeah, I was the only person that I could see wearing this underage wristband. And I just thought it was funny, so I held on to it. From the one time I went out to Senior Frogs while on my program. Now this is the lei that I got from the Polynesian when Sarah Kate and I had breakfast at Hotham for the first time. Well, it was my first time, it wasn't her first time. And then we did a little bit of resort hopping. So I actually made a TikTok from that day. If I can insert the TikTok and not get copyrighted or like take out the sound, I would do that so that you can see it. But yeah, so that's just what this is. It's just a little lei that I got from the Polynesian when I went to go eat at Hotham for the first time. And then I went resort hopping and it was a cutesy chill little day on my day off. That is all. Now these next two things are from the only 2 backstage tours that I did, both through my job, my location, which was nice. So this one was Rock and Roller Coaster. It is not a real, like, anything. Like you can scan it. I think it just takes you to like a Rock and Roller Coaster website, but it doesn't actually do anything if you scan it. But we got to do a backstage tour of Rock and Roller Coaster that started at, I kid you not, 5:45 in the morning because we had to do it before the guests could enter the park. So I was tired and it was pitch black when I arrived in Hollywood Studios. Nobody was there. They were like power washing the concrete when we were walking in. But yeah, so we got a backstage tour, Rock and Roller Coaster. It was super cool. And then the back of this is pretty cool because those dates are the opening dates of the different Rock and Roller Coasters around the world, which I thought was pretty snazzy. That's what they told us. Yeah, and then these are the different places that we got to explore during our tour. So it says load, which you know what that is, the unload, the launch tunnel, the gravity building, which is the building that the actual roller coaster is in, Then we got to go behind the ride to maintenance, and then Studio C, which is that little room where the guys are on the screen, and then they're like, oh, but we can't just leave them here. And then, you know, Steven Tyler is like, wait a minute, I love that idea. So yeah, y'all know the room. With all the instruments and stuff, we actually had to go inside that room. And then we explored the courtyard. So yeah, it was a really cool backstage tour, and that was through my location. And then we did another backstage tour through my location of Kilimanjaro Safaris. And we became honorary safari guides. Yeah, that one was really cool because we basically just got to do the safari, but then we got to see like where the animals go when they're not out on the safari, like where they go to relax away from the crowds, or to like sleep. Because sometimes they sleep like out and about, but then sometimes they're like, we're gonna go. Yeah, so we got to see that. We also got to see where they keep all the big trucks. Yeah. It was pretty cool. I really liked it just because we got to see the animals so early in the morning, and they are very active early in the morning at like between like 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. They are very, very active. And so our tour started at 6:30. And so we got to see them at 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. And I thought that was really cool. And then next I have this little box that holds a pin that I will show to y'all. I want to open it. I have not opened this since it has been completed. Like they opened it to show it to me after they completed it, but I have not opened it since they opened it to show it to me. This will also be framed eventually. But it's a pin from my last day, like my very last day, before I was moving back to my college. But it says, I'm celebrating DCP alum. And I got it decorated at the Christmas shop in Disney Springs. I wanted to do it on my last day at Magic Kingdom at that Christmas shop, but when we got there, we went like straight to the Christmas shop, and they were like, yeah, we could do it, but it won't be ready until 10 p.m. tonight. And I was like, okay, we're not staying until 10 p.m. tonight because I have to finish like packing my apartment. So then the next day we went to Disney Springs and I got it done there. So, you know, not the most interesting story, but it's cute. It's a nice little memory. So this is a little reward card. I'm gonna explain it. You're prepared to learn some secrets. So there is a Subway under Magic Kingdom. A very good Subway, very tasty. But I worked in Magic Kingdom. I'm gonna say twice. I hope that is correct. I feel like I worked there twice because I have 2 things. I'm trying to remember where I worked. I did work at Magic Kingdom twice. I worked at Storybook Circus once, which, you know, picture. And then I worked at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party once, which, picture. So I did go to that Subway twice, which is why I have 2 things. Now, the Subway under Magic Kingdom, it's in the Utilidors. Yes, they exist. You can actually see them if you do the Keys to the Kingdom tour of Magic Kingdom. Now, with that being said, it was cool. I really liked the Subway. The sandwiches were very good. And the ingredients felt clean, not soggy like normal Subways. So, shout out to Disney. But it's funny because you see really weird things in that Subway. Like, I saw Cinderella without her skirt on. She was wearing her top and she was wearing her pantaloons. And she did not have on her skirt yet, which, not to ruin the magic, but it was really cool. I'm not going to talk about that anymore because I don't want Disney to fire me, but it was very cool. This next thing is so cool that I received a gift from a guest. So in certain roles, you are allowed to receive certain gifts from guests, which is really cool. I got this when working Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I'm gonna open it up and no, I broke the bag. This is why I don't touch this stuff, because I'm clumsy. But anyway, so it says, oh my gourd, you are fabulous. Thank you for making our day just a little bit more magical. Love, Sabrina's Bachelorette Party. And then they gave me this little keychain that's like a little Mickey pumpkin. But it's so cute, and that was really cool and really special. So I wanted to hold on to that because they literally came up to me and they were just like, thank you so much for helping to make the magic. Here's a gift that like we made for you. And I was like, thank you. So yeah, that was really cool and super magical. Okay, so this next thing I just thought was really funny, and that's why I held on to it, because it was funny. But they're my positive COVID tests from my graduation day when I tested positive for COVID. They don't look like anything now. Like you can see there's a faint line now, but that line was clearly there when I tested positive for it. It just, I guess, goes away over time. Yeah, I thought it was really funny. So I held on to the 2 tests that I took. I took 2 to make sure that it wasn't a false positive, and they both came out positive. So I was like, well, I'm sick. Yeah, so I just held on to it because I thought it was funny. Okay, and then this has a cool story. This one, I completely forgot that this was also a gift from a guest. So I had met this couple and they were just kind of having fun, just like doing whatever. They had recently moved to Florida, and they were coming to visit Animal Kingdom Lodge because like they love Disney, and so they used to take trips out to Disney. So they were like, yeah, we just recently moved here, and so we wanted to come hang out at Disney because we like Disney. And they were telling us a story about how they go to Mardi Gras every year, and they have collected thousands upon thousands upon thousands of beads. So they were like, we will have to bring you some sometime, you know? And I was like, that would be so cool, thanks. And so the next day I'm working at Animal Kingdom Lodge again because I was deployed there, and they actually came in and were like talking to me again, right? Then I picked up a shift at another location where I saw them again. And then I picked up a shift at Old Key West where I saw them a 4th time, and they actually had the beads on them. And they were like, oh my gosh, we've been seeing you like every single time we come up here, but we have the beads this time. So they gave me some of the beads because they had seen me so much, and they were like, it makes us so happy to like see you everywhere. And I was like, I hope so, because I really am everywhere. But yeah, it was really nice. It was a cute little thing, and that they remembered, and that they just so happened to be at Old Key West at the exact same time I was, and was able to give me these beads. You know, this next pin is from the first time I did 4 parks one day, which was during my program. My aunt came into town to visit, and we started in Epcot, and she got to ride Guardians, which she really liked, but she was nervous it was gonna make her sick. It did not, all was well. But yeah, so we started in Epcot, and she rode Guardians, and she loved it. And then we went to Hollywood Studios. And while we were at Hollywood Studios, I want to say it was at Hollywood Studios. Yeah, while we were at Hollywood Studios. No, we had to have gone to Animal Kingdom next. It was Hollywood Studios. So while we were at Hollywood Studios, it started downpouring. Like, tropical storm downpouring. But then we left Hollywood Studios super quickly and went to Animal Kingdom, where it wasn't sunny, but it wasn't raining. So we were like, oh, yay, the rain must have like already left here, and then it's hitting the rest of the park, so we should be good for the rest of the day. So we thought. So we start walking from our car to the entrance to Animal Kingdom. And then it starts downpouring again. So the clouds were moving a different direction than we thought. So we got stuck at the front of Animal Kingdom for like 45 minutes just waiting for it to stop downpouring. Like, we just wanted it to just calm down a little bit so that we could then walk. But then it finally stopped. So we had the rest of our park day. We finished at Magic Kingdom. It was really cool. And I got this 4 parks one day pin on Main Street. I did vlog that whole day. So if I can, you know, again, figure out how to do that little card thing, it'll be up there so that you can click on it and watch it, because it was raining a lot that day, and it was wild. Okay, and then I got this next pin. So on every Disney trip I've been to, I have donated to the conservation fund. My DCP, I didn't like forget, but I just had not donated to the conservation fund yet. I wanted to make sure I did that before the end of my DCP. So I went to Nemo and I donated to the conservation fund there, and they gave me this pin. And yeah, it was just something I wanted to cross off my DCP bucket list, which I've done it before, but I wanted to make sure I did it again during my DCP. So that's why I got that little guy. I also did work at the Nemo merchandise shop once, and that's why I wanted to donate there because I did work there once. We're reaching the end of the stuff, but I have a lot of stuff. But anyway, we're reaching the end and it's getting a little sad. But before we do that, I got this card in the mail. Now, on the front of the card, it just says my name and then where I was living. It said no other information. So I got it and I was like, who could this be from? But the front says, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away, by Picasso. And then I open it up and it's actually a card from my mom. So the card, I will read it to you. It says, my sweet Kiki, I saw this card and immediately thought of you. I am so proud of all that you accomplished so far. May you continue to uncover your many gifts and share them with the world, Mom. So she sent me this kind of in the middle of my DCP. This would be like a, hey, I'm thinking of you and I'm so proud that like you've always dreamed of doing this DCP and now you're doing it. Yeah, and that was really cool and that made me emotional when I first opened it. And so I held on to it. Okay, so now we have our last few things. So I have this. It's a coloring page and then it's the KitKat thing for Germany. There used to be a sticker here, but it fell off. But anyway, so I got this because I had no idea KitKat was a thing. I still don't know what it is really, but at the time I didn't know that it was a thing until I walked into the caramel store with my cousin Kayla while she was visiting. We walked into the caramel store and we saw just a table full of these and we were like, what is that? Are those just stickers for us to take? And they were like, yeah, so it's actually like the KitKat activities, but you can definitely just take it if you just want the sticker and then you can hold on to the coloring page for later. So that's what we did. And that's the first time I knew about KitKat, and Germany was the first time I ever saw it. Okay, and this is the room key from my last night on Disney property during my DCP. So my last couple nights, no, I would say my last night. So here's how it worked. I was staying in my apartment. My grandma came down to help me prepare to move. So my last day, my last full day, we went to Magic Kingdom. And then that night I went back to my apartment, I packed some, I woke up the next morning, and then I woke up the next morning, we loaded up our cars, and then we drove my stuff to my campus. And then that night I went back to Disney to stay in the hotel for that weekend. But yeah, so this is basically the room key from my last night there, because my last day I stayed at All-Star Sports and I kept the room key from that. Also from All-Star Sports, we had, oops. Oh my gosh, this is the one from Coronado Springs. Well, I did do one for All-Star Sports, but this one came from Coronado Springs. So when I stayed at Coronado Springs, I did a sleepover with me video and we did the scavenger hunt. And so I held on to this because it was me and my little cousin walking around the property doing the scavenger hunt. And I did also have a video of that. So if I can figure out how to do that little thing, you know the thing, it'll be in the same place. Yeah, wow, I thought this was the one from All-Star Sports because I did another scavenger hunt at All-Star Sports. And I also did a sleepover with me at All-Star Sports, which is another video. So yeah, and I guess that's everything in my bag. Cool. So yeah, I guess that is all for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing all the stuff I'm keeping in my DCP memory bag for some reason. Not all of it is entirely relevant, but it's fun. It's some fun stuff. Yeah, and I also hope that you enjoyed hearing some of the stories behind some of these things, because that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed telling y'all. And I am so excited to do my next DCP and share all of that fun stuff with y'all and do another memory bag, because of course I'm going to hold on to everything once again. But yeah, so that is all for this video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to. Of course, all my socials will be down in the description below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.